Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Helen. I'm so glad you could join me today. I figured I really haven't had a chance for you guys to get to know me very well, and I kind of wanted to do a little bit of a chatty get ready with me. So basically I'm just going to be doing my makeup while I talk to you guys and just kind of open up a little bit and let you guys get to know the real Helen. Most of the makeup that I'll be using today is new to me. It's stuff I recently purchased. I haven't had a chance to try out yet, so I figured this was a good opportunity to do that. I will also say I already started recording this. I got 12 minutes in to recording when I realized my beautiful handy dandy microphone was muted, so all of the audio did not exist. But this time we're up and running, should be good. But that is why you see I am, or maybe you don't see, maybe you don't notice, I don't know. I am already wearing my foundation. I literally had just finished applying my foundation and I looked down and I saw that it was muted and you guys could not hear me. So oops. I think what I was talking about at the time, I was kind of starting from the beginning of my life. It's kind of weird, but that's what I was doing. So basically, I was born in Chicago, Illinois, and I lived there until I was about maybe 6 or so, and then we moved out to the Chicago suburbs. And to this day, I still love Chicago. I still get that like little butterflies in my stomach every time I see like the skyline approaching off in the distance whenever I'm going to visit. So I love Chicago. Basically, when I was in high school, I decided I wanted to become an architect. I was in drafting courses or CAD courses in high school, and that kind of set me on this like path in my brain of my future life and what it was going to be like. I had everything just completely planned out to like the year I was going to become a licensed architect and when I would start like meet somebody and start a family. I mean, it was just like in my brain, that's what was going to happen. None of that happened. I did go to school for a semester at IIT, which is Illinois Institute of Technology, which is a very prestigious, awesome school. It is a private school, so it was very expensive, which is why I was only able to go for a semester. In my brain, I thought I could still make it work, but it definitely did not work. So I went there for a semester, and then I moved back home and tried to decide what I was going to do with my life at that point. So while I was trying to figure all that out, I got like a temporary job. And it was supposed to last me like 4 months until I figured out what I was going to do. I was going to go to online school and figure something out. But that lasted 4 years. So I worked at Lowe's for 4 years and made such amazing friends there. And still to this day, like I loved that job. Like even like the customer service part of it, there were bad days, like days where you just did not want to deal with any people because they were all being horrible. But honestly, I loved that job. I loved the people I worked with. I made such great friends there, but at a certain point it was not what I wanted to do with my life. That's not where I wanted to go. At the age of, I guess, 23, which is kind of crazy because that was almost 10 years ago. At the age of 23, I very unexpectedly lost a very close cousin of mine, and it kind of jolted me out of this like stagnant living. At the time, I was working for Estee Lauder / Clinique, and I was having a lot of fun. I was working in a department store, and I really enjoyed, again, the customer service aspect of it and being able to play around with makeup and give people like makeovers. I loved that so much. But again, it wasn't what I wanted to do the rest of my life. At least the kind of retail part, you know, the crazy working hours and that kind of thing. When my cousin passed away, I was just completely devastated. It just rocked me to my core. I had never lost somebody so unexpectedly. It's one thing, you know, I've lost my grandparents and that was heartbreaking, but they were older and it was different. It was equally sad, but it was different. So that kind of catapulted me into action, and I decided I was going to go online for CAD, computer aided drafting, and I was going to figure out a way to start working in that field. Now we're kind of caught up to where I had stopped before when I was doing my foundation, and now I can continue with my makeup and continue with my story. So basically, once I decided to go back to school, I found an online school to attend, which now looking back, I should have done more research. I should have figured out a different school. The school I went to basically does not exist anymore, but it really opened a lot of doors for me, and I am very grateful. What ended up happening about, I think it was a 2-year program. So about halfway through the program, they had like a database of job applications and companies looking for help. And I started applying to a couple places, and that is where I found my current employer. And I've been with them for, it'll be 9 years in February. So I currently work at an engineering firm doing CAD work, and I love my job and I love the people I work with, and it has been just really a fantastic opportunity. My life is completely different than it would have been had I kept going down that path, 9 years ago. What I ended up doing is in 2016, I think it was 2016. It might have been 2016 or like very beginning of 2017. I can't remember. I'm really bad at remembering like specific years, but I ended up transferring with my company to Minnesota. So I was living in Chicago, transferred to Minnesota, and I lived in the Twin Cities, so Minneapolis, St. Paul, for almost 4 years, and I loved it there. I mean, I just honestly, like, all my family was back in Chicago area, the Chicagoland area. If I hadn't left my family to go to Minnesota, I would still be there. But after 4 years, I ended up kind of getting not homesick. I just wanted to be closer to family again, and work was more ramping up in Chicago than it was in Minnesota anymore. And so we decided it was better to have me back in the Chicago office with work. So I ended up deciding what I was going to do is move back in with my parents temporarily until I could save up. I wanted to be able to save up, pay off some school loans, and then buy a place in Chicago. And this was in December. This is December 2019. That is when I made the move back to the Chicagoland area, and that is when I moved back in with my parents. So that was right before global pandemic hit, and I have been at home with my parents during everything, which obviously my parents are going to be watching this, and obviously I love you guys, but to move as an independent person, to move back home with your parents right before a pandemic, kind of crazy. But it is what it is. It's actually been fine. I honestly would rather be here than off on my own during all of it, so it's worked out, but that is my current living situation. So that's a little bit about that. What kind of started this whole thing was this evening, my parents' dog got a hold of a corn cob, and she decided to run off with it under a bed where we couldn't get her, and she ate it. And if you're not aware, corn cobs are incredibly dangerous for dogs. They cannot be digested by dogs, and it can be a serious problem. So that was our little bit of drama this evening. We had to call the emergency vet and see what we had to do. We had to make her basically become sick to get it out of her system, and so that was a little bit of our excitement. It was not fun, but luckily she's doing absolutely fine. But yeah, so that was my evening. And then also it is, well, I mean, it's July 11th, so it's definitely not like 4th of July weekend or anything. There are some people putting out some fireworks at the moment, so you will probably hear that occasionally while I am chatting. So yeah, what else do I want to chat with you guys about? I also kind of wanted to let you guys know about some upcoming videos I'm going to be having. Oh gosh, did I even tell you guys about my trip to Seattle? I honestly am so upset that the first 12 minutes of recording didn't even work. So next week I am going to be going to Seattle, Washington area. I actually was supposed to go there in March, literally the week that basically everything got shut down. That's when I was supposed to go. So obviously it had to be postponed. But now I am going to finally make that trip. I am going to be super cautious and make sure I am practicing social distancing. The original trip was going to be a lot of like Seattle sightseeing, and this time rather than that, and rather like than being around people. The friend I am going to go visit, we are gonna go to like the Olympic Peninsula area, and we're just gonna go like basically road tripping and hiking and just getting out in nature. So we are just gonna completely distance ourselves from people, and I still get to enjoy and see a very beautiful part of the country. I have never been. I have wanted to go for years and years, so I'm excited that I'm finally getting the chance to go. So I am really looking forward to that. So that's next week. I leave Thursday the 16th, and I get back on the following Tuesday. So that's going to be super fun. So while I'm gone, I'll still have videos going on for you guys. Basically, I'm going to record a few ahead of time and get them edited and everything, and then I'll just have them released normally. I had originally the last couple weeks switched over to Fridays instead of Wednesdays. I mentioned it in my last maybe couple videos, and I think at this point I am going to stop doing that. I don't think Fridays are a great day for posting. I feel like Fridays, boy, I still need to do some blending. I feel like Fridays are like people are gearing up for the weekend. They're not like necessarily sitting as much inside and waiting for YouTube videos to come out. So I think I'm gonna go back to my normal Wednesday schedule. I just think those worked out better for everybody. So I'm excited for that. And then some upcoming videos I have that I'm really excited for. I just kind of have to get into them. So I do have BoxyCharm premium box coming. That's coming this Monday. So I am... Oh, there's some more fireworks. That's coming this Monday, so that video will be coming out soon. I do have a new subscription box, No Make No Life. It is a basically beauty box that is filled with Japanese or Korean beauty products and makeup products. I'm super excited for that. The box that I'll be opening, the first video you'll be seeing, is actually the May box. So again, I signed up for this right when the quarantines and shutdowns were happening, and this was coming from Japan. So everything just basically stopped shipping. So the box I'll be opening is my May box. I finally got it in July. I have yet to receive my June box. I do think I'm going to be getting my July box soon because I did upgrade the shipping for that to go through DHL. So we'll see about that. But yeah, so I have a BoxyCharm unboxing coming up. I have the No Make No Life unboxing coming up. The other one I'm super excited for. I have the brand Besame. I've featured them on my channel before. I really love their products. They recently came out with an I Love Lucy line, so a Lucille Ball line, and I snatched that up as quick as I could when it got released, which I'm glad I did because they did actually sell out of it, at least the whole collection. So I will be doing a super fun 2-part video of an I Love Lucy look. So I'm going to do kind of one where it's like 1950s, and then I'm going to do one that's like 1960s. So I am super excited for those. And then the other big one I have coming up and that I have not filmed yet is I'm going to be doing something very different. So a lot of my makeup is just normal, like sometimes glam, sometimes, very neutral, but I have yet to do like a fantasy type look. So one of the videos I'll have coming up is a fantasy look, all centered around the color purple. That is my favorite color. It includes like wearing a purple wig, so it's gonna be super out there and super fun. I'm really excited to record that one and create that look, but I'm not sure yet when that's coming out. It's just kind of, these are my, what I foresee coming in the future for you guys. If there's anything that you guys want to see from me, or any like makeup brands that you would like me to check out, please feel free to comment below. I would love to hear from you guys. And also, if there are any questions you guys have for me about me, please comment down below, ask away. I am an open book. I will gladly answer, I won't say I'll gladly answer anything you ask, but I will absolutely try my best to answer all of your questions. I am gonna tell you guys really quickly about this eyeshadow palette I'm gonna check out. I have been wanting to try out Juvia's place for a while, and I recently got the Saharan palette. That's what this one looks like here. I actually ended up getting this in an Ulta order. They had like a little, if you spent a certain amount, you would get like this little trial bag, and it had this eyeshadow palette in it, and I was super excited about that. So that's actually what I'm going to be putting on today. What else can I talk to you guys about? About me. I can tell you about my hobbies. So oh yeah, I know what I can tell you guys about. I can tell you guys about how I am like a jack of all trades. So I love being creative. I love all creative outlets, and I tend to kind of dabble in a lot of things, and I never really fully commit. I don't know if that makes sense. Like watercoloring. I've done watercoloring. I love working with watercolors, and it's super fun to paint something that looks really nice, and I really love it. But I haven't touched watercolors in like almost a year. What else do I really like doing? Makeup, obviously, but that I do pretty regularly regardless. I like building models, and actually when the stay-at-home orders had started in the beginning of the quarantine, I bought a couple of models and started building them. They're super cute. But then I got like a quarter of the way through the first one and stopped building it for no apparent reason. So those are just kind of things I do. I do enjoy playing video games. Specifically really love The Last of Us. So I have a PS4, and I've had every PlayStation basically since PlayStation has been a thing. I started when I was little playing Sega with my dad. So we had a Sega system, and then from there we got PlayStation. So I've had the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4. I will be getting the 5 when that comes out. Maybe not like right away. I tend to wait like a year or so until I can't stand that I can't play the new games or whatever. There's like a new game that comes out and I have to get the next one in order to play it. So I'll eventually get the 5 as well. But so yeah, I've always played PlayStation, and the game that is my absolute favorite is called The Last of Us. If there's any gamers out there, let me know. And it is just, most games I play, I'm just playing, I like the graphics, or I just like the gameplay, and I never really get invested in like the storyline. But The Last of Us, I am just fully invested in that storyline. I've played that game well over 10 times, and I just love it every time. Like, love it every time I play it. The Last of Us 2 recently came out after I think like 7 years or something like that, waiting 7 years. So of course I pre-ordered that, and I've been playing that. I finished it probably within a week or two after purchasing, or after it got released. And I'm already playing it the second time through. I don't know what it is about that game, that storyline, but I just am in so much love with that. That's kind of another hobby I like. I really love collecting mini things. I love anything mini. Like a mini version of a normal sized thing. I can't get enough of it. I love it so much. I will actually show you guys my mini things collection when I'm done with my eyes here. Actually, I'll do it right when I'm done with this eyeshadow application, which these eyeshadows are really nice. And I also like big versions of little things too. I get a kick out of those. I don't know what it is. They're just so cute. All right, I'm gonna show you guys a few things I have real quick. So this is my little collection of mini things. And I've got, let's see, we've got some Spam. It's so cute and so little. So we've got a little Spam. I've got a tiny little soy sauce bottle. Look at this. I love it. Little soy sauce bottle. I've got a little pack of wet ones. These are just so adorable. So these were from the, I don't remember what they're called, but it was like the little ball that you would get like at like Target or Walmart, and it had like 5 little minis in there. That's what these are from. Let's see, I'll show you guys one more before I put this back. I have this little can of Hormel chili. It's just so stinking cute. I love these things. So yeah, I love mini things. What else? What else do I like? I love to read. I don't read as often as I like, or I feel like I should. There was a time where I was reading like 1 to 2 books a week. I just really love reading. I don't do that quite as much, but I have recently started kind of getting back into it. I love a murder mystery. It doesn't even have to be murder mystery. I love like mystery thrillers, I guess. Those are my favorite book genre. I also love like a sappy romance novel. I love to read. Oh, that reminds me. Sorry, this video is literally going to be all over the place. I did not plan of what I wanted to talk about. I didn't plan any of it out, but another video that I have coming out soon. So Ulta just released a Harry Potter line of makeup. So I grabbed a bunch of things from that, and I'll be doing a video with some Harry Potter makeup, which I'm super excited for. So yeah, back to what I was talking about. I like to read. I like mini things. I like to be creative. I feel like I need something to deepen this look. There's not really a color I'm looking for in here to deepen it. I'm gonna go into the chocolates palette. I've not used this one either. Anyway, back to getting to know me. I can also tell you guys a little bit about some other beauty gurus, I guess you would call them. Not that I'm a beauty guru, but some other influencers I really enjoy watching on YouTube. I would say probably my favorite is Raw Beauty Christy. I love her. She has such a great character, like such a great personality, and she's just so true and authentic, and I don't know, I feel like I connect to her. So I never fully understood, how people make connections with people online, but watching Christy's videos, I get it now. She is just so personable. Like, I want to be her friend, even though I've never met her and she doesn't even know of my existence. I'm just like, I could see myself being friends with her. Like, she's awesome. And if you are familiar with her, then you'll know the exciting news that she is expecting. If you didn't know that, well, now you do. But she is expecting her first child with her husband after trying for, I think, like 15 years. Like, when she released that video, I was like sobbing. I was sobbing for somebody I've never met before, because I just like feel a connection to her. She's seriously such a great person. But she's probably my all-time favorite beauty influencer. I do know that she just is releasing on Sunday, so on the 12th, she's releasing a collab with Pure Cosmetics. I'm so excited. Like, I really hope that I can snag it before it sells out. I imagine that palette and the lashes are gonna sell out quickly. It looks so cool. I'll link it down below for you guys to see, but it's basically like a double-sided palette, and so one side is like neutrals and one side is like bold and electrifying colors, like just really pretty. And I totally get it, because sometimes my looks are super bold and really out there, but a lot of times I just like to do a neutral look for like everyday life. It's one thing for YouTube video to do something crazy, but on my day-to-day life, I like it a little more subdued. So I'm really excited for her on all fronts. I'm excited for her to have her baby, and I'm excited for her new release. So I highly recommend her channel if you have not seen her before. I really like Rachel Maxey. Let me look her up real quick. Rachel Maxey. She does a lot of like really fun vintage themed videos, really fun like crafts and sewing and things like that. I really like her channel. I've really enjoyed doing like vintage looks. It's funny because like I've watched a vintage video, like people doing vintage looks in videos, and I'm just like, how do you get to that point where that's like all you do? And now I've done a couple of looks that are vintage, and I'm like, oh, I get it. Because this is how it starts. You start with like one video and you're like, ooh, I like the way that turned out. I'm gonna do it again. And next thing you know, you have like, you know, a whole collection of vintage makeup and vintage clothing, and then all of a sudden that's like what you're known for. So I definitely want to incorporate more vintage into my looks. I don't think I'll probably ever go like full vintage, but there's always room for more. But yeah, I really like her. I really like Raw Beauty Christie. Who else do I really watch a lot of? Like I basically watch every video they release. Mia Maples. I love Mia Maples. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about her, but I just love watching her videos. She just like, again, she's super personable. Like I could totally see like hanging out with her and having fun. But I like every video she comes out with. It doesn't really matter even what it's about. I'm gonna watch it. So those are some of my favorites. I have a lot more people that I watch, but those are like I've been watching for a while now. Yeah, those are some of my YouTubers I watch because like I said before, I've mentioned before, if I'm not filming or editing my videos, like I don't really watch normal TV. I'm generally watching YouTube. And of course my videos are my other favorite ones to watch. I honestly didn't want to go this hard on my eyeshadow. I didn't. I was just like, I'm just gonna do a nice neutral look and it's gonna be great because I'm gonna film another video after this with my makeup already done. And here I am with some intense shadow going on. Alright, I'm gonna be doing my eye makeup and I can't really chat too much while I'm doing that, so I'll just kind of do it real quick, like my liner and lashes, and then I'll pop back in just a minute. Alright guys, I'm back. I did my eyeliner, I put some mascara on, and I put some false lashes on. These are just like a super natural looking false lash set, so you probably can't see it too much in the video, but it's the Kiss 03 set. And this is what they look like. So they're just like super light, super natural. I don't know why there's a missing lash on there, but oh well. And I remembered a story I wanted to share with you guys about when I was a little kid. This is when we lived in Chicago and I was about 4 years old, and for whatever reason I was mad at my parents and I decided I wanted to go to Greece and visit my yaya and papu, which in Greek is grandma and grandpa. So again, 4 years old, it's the middle of winter. We live in Chicago, and not only do we live in Chicago, but we live like 2 blocks from Wrigley Field. If you are familiar with Chicago, then you might know where that is, but anyway. So 2 blocks, Wrigley Field, so we are in the city. And I'm mad at my parents and I'm gonna go to Greece. This is what I've decided in my brain. So I remember going up to my mom, or I think maybe I was just mad at my dad. I don't know who I was mad at, but I remember going to my mom and telling her, like, hey mom, I'm mad and I'm going to go to Greece. And she was just like, yeah, okay, cool. I'll go with you after dinner, right? Like, yeah, you're gonna go to Greece. I'll go with you after dinner. So she just kind of like brushed it off. Everybody brushed it off. Nobody believed me, but I was determined. So what little 4-year-old Helen decided to do was, I knew it was winter, so I knew it was cold out. So I took like one of those little foam, kind of like plastically insulated, it was like a 6-pack little insulated cooler, that's like soft-sided. So I took one of those and I packed a vest in it because it's the middle of winter. So I packed a vest, a sweater vest in there, and I put in my little winter snow boots, and I was wearing, I think maybe like a very large t-shirt that was like a dress basically on me. And I walked up to the front door. I think my parents were like back in the kitchen. Like the way the house was laid out, it was like they were back in the kitchen. So I walked up to the front door. I reached up and unlocked the keys, the door, whatever, and I just walked out. And this was like pretty late at night. I don't know how honestly late it was. I mean, it was the middle of winter, so it it could have been any time after 4 basically, because I remember it being dark. So I don't know the specific time, but I think it was like later in the evening. My mom had come home from work. So I start walking, and I realize pretty quickly, like, in order to get to Greece, I'm gonna have to cross the street, because that's how you get to Greece, is you cross the street. And I can't cross the street on my own because I'm only 4, and I know I can't cross the street on my own, that I have to be holding the hand of an adult. So I figure in like 4-year-old logic that maybe if I just walk along the curb of this street long enough, I'll somehow manage to get to the other side without having to cross the street. So that's what I start doing. I start walking along the curb, and I remember I must have got to like the corner of the street, and a car pulled up, and there was a man and a woman. I remember it very clearly. There was a man and a woman in there, and they rolled their window down, and they were like, "Are you lost? Are you okay?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm just gonna go to Greece to visit my yaya and papu." Like, I remember telling them this, and they're like, "Oh, okay." And at that point, the guy got out of the car, and he came over to me, and he was like, "Oh, let's see what you have in like your bag you packed," because I was carrying the little cooler, and he took the vest out and he was gonna put it on me. And at this point, my dad sees me, he finds me, and he comes running up and he grabs me and tells him to get away from his daughter and runs off. And that was my one and only runaway story. I have no idea what would have happened. I can think of a million things that could have happened that would have been bad. I'm going to believe that they were being really good people, and we're just going to try and figure out where the heck I came from. So yeah, that was my running away story at 4. Never attempted to do it again. I didn't like even get in that much trouble. Like, obviously I got in trouble, but it wasn't like this huge thing. It was just like, do not ever do that again. And that was enough for me. I never did it again. So that's my, I guess my fun, I am an independent 4-year-old story from when I was a kid. So I am done with most of my makeup. I will say my face is a little darker than normal. I tried a new foundation I just got. I have been getting some color from being outside more. Even with sunscreen, it just kind of happens naturally. So I went with like a darker shade than I normally am, and I think I may have gone a little too dark. But actually, once like it's applied, it's really not too bad. The eyes, I'm really happy with how those turned out. Yeah, they're more dramatic than I was hoping to go for today, but I really like the way they turned out. I'm not too worried about it. For lip, so originally I wanted to go with a red lip because it's been a while since I wore a red lip, but I feel like it may be a little much with the dramatic eye look. What do I do? Or I can just go, I'm gonna go nude. I feel like that's just a better option. I'm just gonna have to wear the red another day. So the nude lipstick I'm gonna try out today is by Melt. It's called Rebound. It's a little bit more of a nude color. It's probably going to be a little more terracotta on me. It'll kind of go with, I think, the look of the day. And it is a liquid lipstick, so it should dry matte and all that fun stuff. I have tried the same formula in kind of like a purpley orchid color, and that I really liked, so I know I like this formula. So I'm going to apply this real quick. It is a little terracotta-y on me, but on the camera it is, but like in person, it's really pretty. This was my Chatty Get Ready With Me. I know it was kind of all over the place. I will definitely do these more often just so you guys can kind of hear more stories about me and get to know me. I would love if you had some input down below so I can get to know you guys as well. Kind of introduce yourselves and tell me like a fun fact. If you don't, that's okay too, but I would really like to kind of get to know you guys as well. Maybe my next Get Ready With Me, I'll actually kind of like make an outline so I'm not just jumping all over the place. That's just kind of how I talk sometimes. I kind of get, sidetracked here and there, and I make long stories longer when I'm actually in a chatty mood. I'm typically more introverted. I like to observe and listen more than I like to talk, but You can't really do like a YouTube video where you're just listening and not talking, because then it would just be silence, which I'm sure people like too, but that's not what I'm doing here. So I really hope you guys liked today's video. I hope you kind of got to know me a little bit better, and hopefully you're not running for the hills. If you did like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more videos like this in the future, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I am posting back again on Wednesdays, so I post new content every Wednesday and Sunday, and I look forward to hearing from you guys down below. And if not, I will see you guys next time. Bye!